Thank you. Good afternoon, folks. I think the title of this seminar is fairly self-explanatory. I'm going to be reviewing with you 10 ways that I think can help you play an active role in getting your faculty and getting your researchers to send out more and better grant proposals. But before I start, I'd like to talk a little bit more about how my theme kind of fits in with the changing nature of research administration itself. And let's see if I can get the slide to change. There we go. Next slide. It talks about this whole issue as a, there we go. It talks about this whole issue as a leadership challenge. And the reason I considered that is that, in my view, research administration has traditionally been a kind of a downstream function. And what do I mean by that? Well, if any of you have taken a course in management theory, you're probably familiar with the concept of line functions versus staff functions. Line functions are those parts of the organization that directly produce. They have a role in directly producing the product or service that then goes out to the consumers or customers. The staff functions in an organization are designed to support the line functions. For example, human resources is a classic staff function. Traditionally, research administration has been a staff function within a university environment. We don't actually produce research, but we support those folks who do. And in recent years, there's been a shift. We are now moving into more of the line area in that we are functioning almost like a partner with faculty members to help them identify new funding sources and also to work with them directly in improving the quality of their proposals. So that's moving us into more of those line areas than we've had in the past. And that's due to several key factors. Number one, you're all familiar with this, competition is increasing and a smaller percentage of proposals on the average are being funded. And then universities and colleges, because they're all experiencing budget pressures, are now putting more pressure on faculty to bring in external dollars. So what I've seen in recent years is that even smaller four-year liberal arts schools are cranking up their pressure on faculty to do more with bringing in sponsored research dollars. So that all comes back to the research office where the expectation increasingly is for us to have more of an upstream function, that is to be more proactive in working with faculty to get more proposals and get them out the door. So I view this as a major challenge for leadership and research administration. I'm very fortunate in the sense that I've been involved with two universities. First of all, the Virginia Tech University, and secondly, at the University of Tennessee. Both are Research One land-grant universities, and both of them have created proposal development teams in recent years and have committed significant resources to bringing on board proposal development specialists, and I've been very pleased to be part of that movement. All right, we're going to be looking at the contrast between the 10 inexpensive solutions that I'm going to be discussing this afternoon and the typical kinds of expensive options that sometimes people think about. The first one is to bring a consulting firm on campus to provide workshops, either a half day, full day, or 2 or 3 days. And I think you'll find as you shop around and get price quotes from these firms that they charge pretty expensive. Their fees are quite expensive, even for a half-day workshop. An even more expensive option is sending individual faculty members to a central area to sit in on a workshop, seminar, or a grant writing institute. I've gotten feedback from researchers who have done this, and a good part of the feedback has not been positive from academic researchers. They tell me that a lot of times the focus of these institutes is geared more toward general audiences such as public educators, public school educators, and also nonprofit human services organizations. And not very many of them are focused on the particular needs of academic researchers. So not only is this an expensive option, the people who take advantage of it often are not real satisfied with the results. Nevertheless, the usual outcome is a busted budget. Most of us don't have the money, and even less so in recent years. So what am I saying that we need to do? A good part of your role here is sort of a coach, confidant, and cheerleader. you need to think about building upstream competence and confidence. And the reason I mention that is that a lot of junior faculty seem to be in kind of a sink or swim environment. It's not uncommon for junior faculty to be told that they need to be bringing in external dollars if they expect to get tenure, but they don't get a lot of mentoring or actual practical help with this. And therefore the responsibility rests with the research office to be a kind of a coach and cheerleader. So you really have two kinds of competencies that you need to think about.